Hello, welcome to a new video of Latinos around the world, of these Latinos who show their faces for our countries that we have had to migrate to have a better, we say, quality of life, and also for other situations like wives, etc. So today I met a Colombian super buena onda paisa, and this madman has his Colombian street food business. This is Julián Camacho. Welcome, my brother.
Thank you, partner. Thank you.
Julián Churmano, tell me how the hell a paisa gets to these cold lands and sells paisa food then.
For when I was 15 years old, I came to live in Spain for a change. I wanted to get to know Europe. My family gave me the opportunity to do it, so I took advantage of it and stayed to study in Spain. I lived there for 14 years. And then I came to Finland. I wanted to make a change. So I think 14 years in Spain was enough, and I wanted to change a little. To do something else, to change. Then I had the opportunity to come to Finland. I came first to do the Paiba burst, so I already knew a little, so I threw myself into the adventure. Yes, because most of all, because of the language, which is arriving in a country, you don't speak English, you don't speak Finnish, so it's a little hard. So of course my cooking range, I started studying in English, like all the basics of cooking, at least to understand that. And little by little I got ahead.
Wow, okay, so you left Spain, you came to Helsinki. In Helsinki, how many years have you been?
I've been here for 10 years.
10 years old, Finnish Colombian female.
Finnish woman we met in Spain, and more or less at the same time we came to live here. To Finland, she another city, I here, okay, and then she moved here to Helsinki.
And now they're living here.
Now we are watching here in Helsinki, and we have a beautiful girl.
Okay.
Finnish, I don't know here in Finland, but with Latin blood.
With his Latin blood, I can already imagine that he knows how to dance.
Yeah, sure. Or
okay, how old is the baby?
The girl is 10 years and 10 years old, 1 year and 11 months old.
1 year and 11 months, not super little, super little. Well, now for these people who suddenly want to migrate and don't know what to do, and who soon also have that profession as cooks, easy, difficult to get the card. What's that situation like?
If it's from Colombia, they'd have to come here with a work permit. Okay, get a work permit online so that those who already, or those who hire them from there, can go. It was easier for me because I live in Spain. I obtained Spanish nationality, so I have dual nationality, Colombian and Spanish. As a Spaniard, I have the right to work throughout Europe, so I can move wherever I want. It is very easy, but being Colombian, friends who have moved directly from Colombia here need to get a job with a contract and then apply for papers. Some people approve of them, other people don't, so that's like...
It's not luck and not much either. The handling card from easy to difficult is needed. Can you bring it from Colombia? They won't accept me.
I had the one from Spain, but they didn't accept it, so I had to do the one here. Hygiene, and it happens, and it's called, and you can do it in whatever language you want, because they have the option of different countries because these languages, and I can do it in Spanish. It was more expensive than in Finnish. Finnish, for example, at that time it was $20, and I took it out like in Spanish, and it came out like 100, and something happened.
What did you say? Anything interesting? You arrived here in Finland speaking some language. We say English, Finnish.
No, not only speak Spanish, speak
Spanish left like this. I'm gonna look.
No. I thought he was saying something false, that when one arrives, they have to go to a place and talk. He feels bad because no, he can't say anything. He can't express himself. He doesn't understand anyone. So it's like, I can't do anything.
What the heck?
So no, at least I started giving it to the English, and they're more or less. Now I'm defending myself. I still have to continue studying more English to learn new things. And at the end of it, well, I have learned in 10 years, I have learned some words. But in fact, I should also study Finnish more.
Okay, yes, that is, we people say, can one easily defend themselves with English, or it is really needed? The end is as such.
No, really, in Helsinki, I think you can work in English. I have many friends from other countries and they have all worked in English and nothing happens, although it would be good to be able to speak Finnish because depending on what you work, or if you work, for example, in hospitals, if you have to know Finnish for older people who don't speak English or things more depending. I think depending on the
I work, yes, okay, yes, cook. I imagine that kitchen can be a kitchen.
Are people from all countries very international? Exactly. For example, when I arrived in the week, I got a job very quickly. But my friend was like the translator for everything. So when I went, imagine the first day of work, he told me, well, come on, Monday at 8. I arrived at 8. And supposedly there was going to be a man who spoke a little Spanish or Italian. And when I arrived, it was a Turkish companion who only spoke
Not Turkish.
So since I only speak Spanish, I only speak Turkish. I told you how hey to the same, and that's how we understood each other. So we did the work came out, and then a partner arrived who spoke Spanish. Tell me how you say that, and I say, partner, who's packing? Well, it has to be done.
Of course, yes, that's an interesting part. When one doesn't even have a language, it was his turn to express himself. With gestures, not how it is the same.
Now, today there is already the technology that is the translator and everything is easier.
But it's easier.
Imagine old 10 years ago how towards people and
Very crazy.
very different, yes.
Very heavy. Well, and now that you have, we say this venture, how have people taken it? It's hard to introduce a new product, of course.
Sure, it's been a bit like playing with everything, hasn't it? Because most of carts or food trucks or street food, it's always like burgers or pizza, or I ate really fast, burritos, things like that. So I didn't want to be a cook. I didn't want to sell a product that everyone has, or if I sold it, I wanted to do it very well, but I didn't want to sell the same product. Then the arepa. I have been selling arepas for a long time and by order to some friends, and I opened the company and I already wanted it as good. Since I really opened it, am I going to do it well then? I'm going to start with the bike and I'm going to start seeing how it goes with the arepa. This year I wanted to show you arepa with cheese or K, so that I wanted to make a menu that is somewhat Colombian but somewhat Finnish. Good idea. So I put the arepa in it, I put 3 different cheeses in it, I put cheddar, Gouda and mozzarella cheese or mixed K in it, I put the arepa gratino, I put the cheeses in it, and then I brought you some options that people can say, all strains come with cheese. So option 1 is with or with.
Reindeer.
The other is with ham and pineapple, but fresh pineapple and a good ham. The third is with ora justo, it's
Blue cheese.
yes, who loves the,
Blue cheese.
yeah, it's not a little strong for me either, yeah. And the last one I have is with dulce de leche.
Okay.
I wanted to put it with dulce de leche because, for example, the metal when you eat arepa, they sell it with condensed milk.
Yeah, a lot.
Cheese, yes. So I wanted to do something similar, but I wanted to add dulce de leche. Better, I think, better.
With a combination?
Yes, then the taste of arepa with cheese is already a little salty, and adding sweetness is a contrast of flavors.
Okay. Because curiously here, one of the best-selling pizzas, I tell you, the Finnish pizza is ham and pineapple. Yeah, these lunatics love pineapple. It's not much for me, but this Hawaiian pizza in Colombia has pineapple and ham.
But for example, a curious fact that since I also worked for a long time in Italians in Spain and here, Italians can't stand pineapple on a pizza. Is that considered a serious offense or?
Okay, I understand. Yes, I can understand personally. Neither can I with the pineapple on the pizza. Another question, and one of the most interesting questions, is what has been the most complicated thing about living in Finland?
I think the most difficult thing was perhaps the language.
Okao.
Try to understand people a little better. Because it is different when I speak Spanish with people already, one, how it is understood more, how it is different, but some do not have the language here. I think it is very different as the trap seems to me. For instance, knowing the language allows you to understand jokes or jargon spoken. That makes a difference. Not knowing the language feels distinct. I also speak English. I believe some understand it. Possibly more, but not quite as much as the language here.
Land, that is true if the native language is not, yes. And difficult cultural bags, the sauna, I don't know.
The sauna, Patch, known as the sauna?
Yes, it is.
A sauna. Yes, it's good for the winter that they like to hold on, which is when they make good ice and bam, they get great. It is a temperature change in the crow that they say is very good, but not that cold.
No, I loved it, in fact, a couple of times. And for me, I think that's what I expect from winter. That's it. That is 80, 90 degree fauna, and then into the water.
Yeah, me too.
Minutes if it goes out. It's not even 2 minutes, I believe 30 seconds if I go out.
Yes, I think the hardest thing about Finland can also be the darkness.
Yes.
Darkness, because for example, we always have the sun. It is something that when you don't have it, you realize how necessary it is, and when you have it, you don't value it. They hide you from the sun because the hell I have left, or I don't know what, but in reality, when you're here, you need the sun so much, vitamins, but everything changes. And for example, you can tell the same people here, when there is sunshine, when we are in summer, they are happier. It's like everything is different, but when it's dark, it's like everyone far away, don't talk to me.
Like fucking...
Definitely like night and day.
What is Beroko? That transforms heads. Yes, that transforms very badly, but...
Whether or not, it also affects us Latinos, and it also affects us quite a lot. And I think what would be necessary would be to leave Finland 1 or 2 times to a country in the South or Latin America to clear it up a little. Yes, it's very important. It is very important.
There is no need, and also obviously cultural differences are no longer silent. Here, the nation in Colombia is the busiest Latin America here.
It bothers them so much that you don't make so much noise that you go on the train and they say, hey, put on your hearing aids because we don't need to listen to your conversation, something like that. They told me the other day, and well, it's out of politeness. Well, it lowers it, but in Colombia, it causes a scandal on the bus already and the radio and turned on like that, right?
We are
accustomed to that. For example, in my house, you see, music, always music. There is no shortage of music. The neighbors never complain because I live in a building with a lot of different cultures. Some of us have it too.
Okay, more.
Relaxades is good. Yes, it is good, but I have been to other places where I like to play the drums, and sometimes I like to practice there at home. And one day the neighbor came to me like, hey partner, right? It won't let me sleep and it won't let me, I don't know what. And it was 2-3 p.m. Oh, you son of a bitch.
And what kind of electric gas batteries do I imagine a water?
Acoustics. At home I have an electric, okay, well, but before I had acoustics. But the acoustics are the best in themselves, I
imagine if more.
Well, at least the electricity gets you into the EN.
The games, and it's like exercising, not practicing, great. Well, let's ask him more questions about the difficult business to get. We say corn must be brought from outside Finland. It can be obtained here. How is it?
Well, since corn is not given here, it's time to bring it from outside. Be careful, some stores here in Helsinki or in Finland that sell some products that they bring from there to here, but I personally bring it from Spain, okay? I bring the corn from Spain, and Finnish companies that transport things from Spain bring it to me here, or key. Those who get it in Spain are Colombians.
They buy it for you and send it to you or something like that, perfect. And you were also telling me that you make arepas too? Yes.
Yes, I also make arepa. In fact, the arepa started with my family, or because they come from Bogota, all from Bogota, and at the age of 6 we moved. When I was 6 years old, we moved to Medellin, and when my family arrived in Medellin, I remember I have that low memory of, okay, the one they made arepas in the house, wow. My family made arepas at home, and I remember the smell of corn, and I remember how they sold it to small stores or something like that. They did something like that, or K. And with that, I stayed with that. And then when it comes to Spain, I already came here in 2017 with some acquaintances. We made a Colombian futra.
Okay, wow.
Then we were already making the arepa itself, and I had already asked my family what it was like, I don't know what. So I already knew how the arepa recipe was, how to look at the corn, how to cook it, how to prepare it, how to make tiki-tiki arepa and everything. Wow. So everything has its process. Since it is traditionally like soaking corn all night, it is not like buying flour anymore.
De ya liste y.
No, this takes its process. So I wanted to sell a product that, if there was no one here, it was also that he represented Colombia quite a bit, but for...
Of course.
So we started selling arepa, then I started selling them in packages. I made them 14 cm, but now I have several sizes too. For example, this one I wore this summer, I made it 16 or K. It is like an arepa made of normal Colombian fabric. So I wanted it to look like this. Some people tell me, but what is pizza, or is that what is it?
What do you see?
I say no, that's an arepa, but someone tells me it tastes like pizza. In fact, I put the same thing in the other day. I put a couple of tomatoes in it and it tasted margarita.
Okay,
Margarita, it is quite interesting as the outcome heavily relies on what modifications you make.
alter the flavor and transform the satisfactory one. Wow, quite fascinating. Anyways, anecdotes abound. So can you share something you've won? This no longer exists.
Oh, something occurred to me, something indeed happened to me. During my outing last year and also 2 years ago, I ventured out to do some sales and a peculiar incident transpired. At that time, my menu featured a photograph from the film Encanto.
Yes, okay, why?
So since I had the menu set like that, a family with some children passed by and the girl stood looking and said, "Mom, you healed my wound with an arpita with cheese." Arepa as in charm, I want, and the family came. He tells me my daughter wants charming arepa, and me, yes, my love is that there is arepa that the enchanted ones eat, and I have brought their arepa.
Oh my, that part was akin to a devastating blow from a machete.
Nonetheless, it was delightful when the girl watching the movie recollected dinner during the arepa making scene.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, hence I was astonished. What an incredible memory children possess to recall those seemingly minor details.
Amazing, and they were from where they were.
Finnish people.
Wow, it truly is amazing what a film it was.
That in Finland, there are many Finns who like Spanish, who speak Spanish, for example. It has happened to me a lot that I am selling, and just by seeing the flag or because they see that they speak Spanish, like, hey, hello, I also speak Spanish. And what do you mean they want to talk and do?
Practice.
Okay, it's very nice too.
And do you think you'll stay here forever? Do you plan to leave, or what are your future plans here?
Currently, our plan is to stay here primarily for the woman and the upbringing of the girl that this involves.
A country?
Which is absolutely wonderful. It provides peace of mind. We should also take advantage of that. And now with the company, let's see if we can advance by undertaking more projects. Start catering weddings, birthdays. Not carrying the bicycle itself, but carrying a small stage where I can write my food on my products. What you ask for, what you want, or K, then it's going to be a little change the chip in summer and in winter like anything else.
Excellent idea, because individuals who suddenly reside here in Finland will appreciate this. You can easily locate it on the page.
I have Instagram, which is arepaspiesa07, or K is also the same Facebook, but I also have my email, which is arepaspiesa20hotmail@hotmail.com.
We have left them in the description for easy location. What is life for a Colombian in Helsinki like?
Depends on what?
I don't know.
It depends. I don't know. Why not? For example, it is not the same. Being here is not the same as, for example, being in Spain, because it is another world. It is a completely different world. For example, let's say there are Latin festivals here, but there are very few.
Okay.
Or there's a concentration of Latinos, but they are very dispersed. And so, I don't know, the shape of the Colombians here is very different, I think.
The difficult K depends.
People are also more with their families, more with their jobs. So that's not how you hang out with all your friends. It's like calmer. I don't know if it's the same. It's like it's already coming down. So it's already like that, like...
Calm, all calm. Yeah.
I lived in Spain and had parties from Wednesday to Sunday, so it's different. It's another world out there. There is a lot of party, a lot of people from all countries also then, and
The weather is a little less hostile.
definitely, for instance, in Enmala where I resided, it's similar to Medal in many ways, akin to the weather, a bit chillier in winter, yet sunny on the shores.
We say winter becomes more or less like a day in Bogota.
More or less.
It was 21 Degrada, perhaps 16.
For example, here in Finland, we're experiencing a winter like Spain's, currently with this chill, so we're sensing that.
We're here.
Yeah.
More.
Or less, yes, but we are now in summer, autumn has already begun, but when winter comes here, it can reach -15, -20. I once had to arrive from the terminal even at -28.
Listen,
No, what an odor, that's exceptionally cold.
chill, I encountered those 26, 28 several times. They're awful.
That it cools down to my pet. What a horror, isn't it? Yeah. It's not.
Very complicated.
I have also met many Colombians who have come to Finland on vacation. Some came, for example, when the World Cup was in Russia. Some went to Helsinki, then called for Russia, and it was coming. Not just what else to Colombians. The many Colombians who come like this on vacation or passing through are very happy to see another one.
Colombian, yes, of course.
Se alegraron ay parcero. What else? I come from, I don't know where they started telling everyone has their story. Very cool.
Oh, those anecdotes, right? How interesting. Yes, how interesting, Julián. Thank you very much for this interview. Successes already. You know, in the description, I am going to leave you all the links so that you can locate it, follow it, and support it, because really the product is the product. It is very good, and it does it with real, it's not flour bread, it's not corn, it's true. Give it a chance. Contact him. They sell arepas to take home, and spend them in the house. Real super pro. Well, I'll pass by. Thank you, my brother, for seeing us soon. Make him dear, and in another opportunity to be at some event, I don't know.
Of course.
Great.
Thank you.